Okay. So as you can hear, this is Richard Clayderman's Mariage d'amour, and what we're going to do today is do a tutorial for the left hand. This was requested by one of my followers, one of my subscribers, sorry, on this channel, to do a separate tutorial for the left and the right hand of Clayderman's Mariage d'amour. So the left hand is a bit similar to Passacaglia, which you can also find on my channel, in that it's quite a repetitive left hand. Similar also to pieces by Jan Tiersen, like Amélie Poulain, etc. Mariage d'amour is obviously a French title, and it was written by Richard Clayderman. I don't believe it was written by Richard Clayderman, sorry, it was written by Paul de Senneville, I believe, and Richard Clayderman is obviously the one that kind of made it famous as a solo pianist. So the left hand is basically made up of the same form every time of accompaniment, you know, bar a couple of extra variations from time to time. The main thing is it just transitions through different keys using the same degrees of the arpeggio. So if you can imagine, you can hear it in the left hand, it's doing these arpeggios, right? A lot of them are minor because they sound a little bit sad. And basically, if you look at my left hand now, what you can see is the we start each time, depending on the chord of that bar, on the tonic, and then we go to the fifth with the second finger, and then we go up to the third, which is usually a minor, so it's a minor third in G, which is B flat, and then it plays along that. You can add a bit of pedal as well to make it sound nice, and then it just sort of rotates on that, and then it changes to another key, for example, B flat. Although this time it doesn't actually go to the third, it goes to the octave. So it plays basically, and then it goes to F. It will go from the tonic to the fifth to the major third, this time in F. So there are slight variations. The sheet music, which I'm using for this piece, you will have in the description, so you can look at that as well. And then the little variation, for example, at the beginning would be, which is the beginning of the end of the introduction, sorry. And then what it does after that is just cycles between these different arpeggios. Sometimes with a little variation. You know, it will just move between them. Pretty much the same shell every time. And it just adds over the top, although we're not doing the right hand today, but just to show you. So basically you've got this left hand which is repeated, pretty much throughout the whole tune. The exception is at the end of the second page, it just does an arpeggio where it goes from here. The interesting thing about these kinds of tunes is that even if your arpeggio is not exactly as it's written, you can just cycle it on a more simple version. To do the large arpeggio, you can do a smaller one as long as it stays on the notes of the chord in question, and it will work okay. Please ask any questions in the comments, like, share, comment, etc. Subscribe, and have a little look through all of the tutorials and things. Hopefully there's some interesting things you can learn. Next will be a right hand tutorial to help you with the different parts of the tune. Like this one, you know, the intro, part A, part B, etc. I'm going to explain a little bit about the structure. Thank you very much, have a good day, and I'll see you soon.